Right. So when we're looking at scatter plots, we're looking at three things. The first one that we just saw was trend. The next thing that we're going to look at is going to be strength. So the strength of an association deals with the amount of vertical variation. So scatter plots with small amounts of scatter or little vertical variation indicate a strong association. Scatter plots with large amounts of scatter or a lot of vertical variation indicate a weak association. And we'll talk what we mean about what we mean by vertical variation as we look at the pictures that are below here. The stronger the association, we will say the better the explanatory variable, which is X, will be at predicting the response variable. Which is Y. Right, so the stronger the association, the better prediction we're going to get. So the better X predicts Y. Right? So if we look at these two images here, these two scatter plots below show one with a weaker association and one with a stronger association. This first one is our example of the weaker association. And the second one here is an example of a stronger association. Right, and when we said, kind of in our original definition, we talked about vertical variation. So what that means is if we just pick a place in our graph and we look at how much vertical space it takes up, right, there's more vertical spread here. These data values go higher and go lower as we're looking at this. Where these, there's much less vertical spread, vertical variation as we're looking at those same things. So we're kind of thinking about how tall the group or the cluster of our data points are. And in this case, right, we have something that looks more like a line, closer together, not as much difference between the values up here and down here. Where here we have some extreme values kind of up here, but we also have a bigger spread between even just our general data values from around here to here. So this has a weaker association. So when we're thinking about strength, again, strength has to do with our amount of vertical variation, and as we're looking at them, it should be pretty obvious if we're comparing a couple of different things, but if it comes down to a question, remember we're thinking vertical variation.